2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Mount Hawthorn or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Thursday morning.
Hey, yo.
Good morning.
And a very good morning. And a very good morning.
Bit basic there, mate.
Oh, it's just not coming out well today, David.
Oh, dear. Hey, you said right.
No, Ash is frothing because he's recording from home.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it like down there?
Oh, it's not too bad. I've actually been outside this morning. It's sprinkling rain.
It's been pushed back, hasn't it, a day?
It's not hectic. I think it's not coming until Saturday.
Saturday now?
Yes. Friday night, Saturday, but possibly into Saturday.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad we cancelled the football.
No, it didn't get cancelled. It just got moved.
It did get moved, didn't it?
It got moved.
And postponed for AFL.
Yes. Well, they were meant to be playing tonight, weren't they? That was
that was the Gabba tonight, which probably would have been okay, but how do you know? Like, you don't know.
How do you know?
Brisbane looks fairly calm right now, to be honest with you. It's not
I think
raining.
most of us, would I be right in saying we just want it to come on now? Like it feels like it's just been hanging around for so long, and it'd be good just to
It's like going to the
get
dentist.
it done. Yes.
You're just waiting, and it's scary, and you just like, get it done.
I think the longer, from what you can hear, the longer it takes now and the slower it's going and everything, it's going to probably get a little bit worse.
Yeah, it's fueling up.
That's no good. I was down at the Point and the Sunshine Coast yesterday watching the waves on the bar, and everyone was surfing the waves on the bar, and it was hectic, and it was really windy out on the Point. But then you tuck in around on the north-facing beach, and it was absolutely stunning. So I went for a swim. It's very confusing at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like we haven't paid the tax. We haven't paid the price for Cyclone Alfred yet. But from a surfing point of view, this has been a generational swell. This is something they'll talk about forever. Like you were saying yesterday, Lutzi, you remember incidents from '96, and but a lot of the surfers they weren't born the last time that we had a decent swell like this, and
I don't think
some of the waves I've seen, they're they're 2 times overhead and they're perfect barrels.
Yeah, I've never seen surf like this. If someone there'd be surfers that they go, no, we did see it once, but I've never seen the power of that. It's never looked like Hawaii. Like that looks like Hawaii.
Yeah,
I've never seen that anywhere.
So at least it's delivered some joy, yes.
Yes.
Anyway, we're going to talk to everyone who's an expert tonight. We'll bring you up to date with what the latest news is in relation to the crossing and the actual time of it as well.
We're going to the top. The Prem, David Crisafulli, about half an hour away.
He'll know. He's been mapping the synoptic charts. He'll know what's happening next year.
That's a big word, Ash.
We got Jeff.
6 a.m.
We got Jeff from Higgins as well. We've got it all today.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Just on Cyclone Alfred, yesterday, and we were having the discussion at work too, what do we do with your windows and doors at your house for the cyclone? We were asking, should we tape up the windows? What should we do? So I reached out to, I reached out to my dad yesterday, who's built an amazingly successful window and door company, Bradnam's Windows. So I went straight to Bill Bradnam himself and said, Dad, what can we tell people about how you can look after your windows and doors? Is it worth taping them up? So if you have in your house, your windows are not laminated, just one sheet of glass, the thinner type of glass, then you should most definitely tape up those windows, because what that will do is it won't necessarily prevent the window from smashing if something hits it or if there's really strong wind, but it will hold the pieces together.
So you won't get shards.
Yeah, so it won't blow into your house.
Yeah.
Once it does. it does shatter. Also, David Jones, who's the Bradman's Windows and Doors, in charge of the research and development and a qualified expert on this stuff. He put a video up yesterday about what you can do for your windows and also your doors concerning the sill. And basically what it is, if you get gaffer tape and you run gaffer tape along the sill of your windows at home...
So what's that? That's like the sliding bit at the bottom.
The metal bit?
That's the metal bit at the bottom of the window, the sill.
Or door.
If you go to the Bradnam's Facebook page, actually, you'll see the video. He actually puts it up. It's only a 30-second video, but it's a good little tip. You run that gaffer tape all the way along the sill of the window, and what it will do is actually help create a bigger well, if you like, for the water if it does get blown in before it will be able to come into your house. So I think that's a pretty good tip as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do you know what I mean? It'll just create a bigger well.
Nick's going to reshare that video on our Instagram as well, so you can check that out.
Now, Alfred's just sitting out at sea at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, so it's slow to about 7 k's now. I guess we can cover this off with David Christopherly straight after the news, but it has sort of its trajectory sort of switched a little bit again, and it keeps doing it, which is strange. But I think at the moment, we'll talk to David about it, but I think it's from Double Island Point right down to the New South Wales border is that sort of impact sort of zone where you've still got to be on alert. Just while we're on that sort of thing, Ash, the Courier Mail has a good little run list as well of different things about, for instance, if it does get bad where you live, which rooms to sort of shelter in. They say bathrooms are strong, any rooms without any windows. Bathrooms have a bit more integrity as far as structurally because of the piping and things like that as well. So the Courier Mail is saying that's a really good place to go. There's also good information on, how old your house is and whether your roof, which houses and which roofs are more likely to blow off if it gets to that sort of impact as well. Also where to put your car. It has a bit of insight, which is exactly what you said then about taping up your windows. Also blows that myth of leaving doors and windows open or ajar a little bit. It says that's basically a wives' tale, which is what our expert said on the show yesterday. And also just things like that about whether, drinking tap water and will my toilet still flush, things like that, how you charge your phone. That's a really important one I took from this morning about if you do have one of those power banks now, just again, worst case scenario, we do lose power over the next few days, that you make sure you get those power banks that you have, those portable ones that most of us seem to buy at one stage or another, and get them charged to 100% just in case, phones and communications becomes an issue over the next couple of days as well.
Now, hang about. What were you saying about drinking tap water?
They're basically, it says different local government areas use different water treatment and filtration systems, so you can visit the online disaster dashboard of the local council in your area. For those in Brisbane, the Brisbane City Council does have that, and they'll have more information on tap water as well, specific to your area. So that's on the Courier Mail.
Yeah, right, okay. So it could just get filled with scourge.
Well, potentially, yeah. But again, check that website and make sure it's safe. They call it the council dashboard. So if you go to the council site, no doubt you'll check that out as well.
And
the other thing that's just really quickly, that's useful as well is there's a flood risk map that you can access too, which is accessible through your council's website, that shows worst case scenario what the flooding could look like, so you can see if your house in a worst case scenario is going to be in the impact zone.
The Ash, Lachie and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Well, we're told that Cyclone Alfred has slowed to a crawl and that the trajectory of where it might actually hit has changed overnight as well. So no better person to go to than the Queensland Premier to find out the very latest in relation to all of that. Good morning, David. What is the latest that you can share with our listeners this morning, mate?
Good morning to you, Lachie. Yeah, it remains a Category 2 system, so every likelihood we'll see waves and wind and rainfall and then eventually flooding. But you're right, it's run into the coast. It's the speed at which it is coming in has slowed. So what that means is, we were talking a couple of days ago, the advice was late Thursday into Friday. Well, that window's been pushed back into Friday. What that does is it gives people a little bit more time, people who haven't got ready, which is good. Good opportunity to do those little things to make your home a little safer, or if you have to leave, get that evacuation plan, go and stay with friends and family. But to give you an indication that the system's still real, I just got briefed a moment ago. There was a wave recorded off Main Beach on the Goldie, 12.3 metres.
That's crazy.
Now, that is
just
never...
off the Gold Coast?
Yep, off Main Beach. So we have never seen a wave recorded at 12.3 metres. So it gives you an indication that the system's real and the threat's real, but I want people to know that if you do the little things right, you will get through an event like this. You just have to... That preparation is key, so make sure you do the little things today. It'll make a world of difference.
I see also the just coming through this morning, Premier, the possibility of Alfred reaching low-end Category 3 strength before making landfall is decreasing at this point. Model guidance is extremely consistent in the intensity of Alfred plateauing after Thursday, even if it remains over water during Friday. So we're still trying to get some sort of read on how strong it's going to be once it does hit landfall.
Yeah, good. It's a good question. Most of the models, the overwhelming majority of the models say it'll be a 2 when it crosses the coast, and that's nothing to be sneezed at, I can assure you.
Yeah.
You're right, that was there was talk of that. It was unlikely, but it was still not an insignificant prospect. But look, in these things, they are unpredictable. Now, what that means is that where it will cross, and you mentioned in your intro, that still hasn't been bedded down. The model's still showing somewhere between the sunny coast and the Gold Coast. That will tighten as it gets closer. That window will tighten, as will the time. So it being pushed back, that gives a little bit more time for people. So just do the little things, and the majority of people, the safest place will be in your home. But today's the day to make sure that you don't have stuff around the yard, and to do everything you can to have bottled water and some tin food. And just another good trick is to get some of those key documents in one location, so your licenses, passports, things that if you do need to go, they're really important things to help you reconnect after a disaster. I want people to know we're taking it seriously, right? We've pre-positioned generators in locations, health staff, for example, on some of the islands. There's 1,000 Energex workers waiting and ready to go, and we've even engaged the contractors who'll be there helping to clean the debris so they can reconnect power if it goes down. So we're taking it seriously. We're doing all of that because what you need is you want to make sure that there is no daylight between the response and then the recovery. People need to see that going through. So, look, as we get info, we'll keep sharing it with people, and I just ask, just do the little things and you will be okay.
What are you most worried about? Are you most worried about the destructive winds or the potential rainfall?
Look, they're both a risk, mate, but there's no doubt that these systems, and I've seen a lot of them over the years in the northern part of the state, these systems, particularly on the southern part of it, mate, they can generate some serious rain over several days, and that presents a challenge. But people in Greater Brisbane, they're not immune to that, and I've seen how well this part of the state has handled flooding over the years. So I've got every faith that people know what to do in that event. Yeah, there's an added complexity that you'll have some wind, of course, that makes it a little different. But in the end, responding and then recovering from a disaster, it's still about doing the legwork up front. We've spent a lot of time and we've done that, and I want people to know we're taking it seriously. And I think overwhelmingly so are the majority of people. The vast majority of people taking it seriously, and if you do that, I assure you'll be fine.
Now, I saw a whole heap of military trucks going down the Bruce Highway yesterday. I know last time the military were brought in to help with the cleanup. Have you engaged the military as a backup?
Yep, from day dot, we've had representatives of the Defence Force sitting around our table, around the Queensland Disaster Management table. We've also even had SES, the head of the SES from New South Wales, so that we can work seamlessly across the border. So you're right, we've had great assistance from the Army. They've already helped us give the council some of the extra sandbags that are starting to help replenish those stocks. There's some of their air support, some of their choppers are ready to go if we need them. But across the board, we've pre-positioned swiftwater rescue in some of the locations that we think we might, if that's required. But my message to people, go on to the disaster website, which is disaster.qld.gov.au. On that, you'll see every one of the local governments have got what they call their dashboards. You can click on your relevant council. There's maps that show you if you are in either a storm surge or a potential flooding area. If you are in one of those, well, then you have to consider your evacuation plan.
And today's the day to do that.
today is the day to do that, and the slowing of its run into the coast gives you a little bit more of a window. But look, if you've got the option to go and stay with friends and family, of course that's the best option you can take, because in the end, human safety is worth more than anything else, right? That's the most important thing. If you don't, motels, if you can afford it, if you've got the means. If not, every council is putting evacuation centres in place, and I think that's tremendous. They're not an ideal place to spend a night, of course. They're not the most comfortable venue, but it's there as an option, right? So have a look at that. If you're not in one of those zones, and that is the vast majority of Queenslanders, make sure your home is ready to go and do the little things in your home. And why it's so important to clear stuff around the yard is they can become a projectile. If that goes through your window, that makes things pretty uncomfortable in an event, right? So do those little things, and that makes a world of difference.
And just be aware, I guess, again, today seems to be the important day, Premier. That's the message we're getting. No, be aware of where you are, if you're in those areas, if you're not in those areas. Also, just some awareness around where the evacuation centres are, and also the refuge centres, for instance, the RNA showgrounds for the absolute last resort in Brisbane. That's as an example, but it seems like those dashboards are the place to go just to find out that information.
Absolutely, mate. And as we get the info, we put it there. And I'm a big believer in that. My job is to make sure that people know a couple of things. Everything that we're hearing, we've got to give it to people. And I want people to know that we are prepared and we've taken it seriously. And by doing that, I hope in response, people also take it seriously. Look, it's very unusual to have a cyclone cross the coast. It's not unprecedented. It's happened before. We had a Category 2 system cross 50 years ago. So it's really unusual. But look, you will get through this if you do the little nuts and bolts.
Thanks, Pram. We'll stay in touch, mate. Stay safe.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
For the first time ever, the footy is free on 7plus. Stop paying, start watching.
Lachie Neale, Lachie Neale, Lachie Neale, Lachie Neale.
Away you lock, man.
His own song.
Damn straight he has. He's
well. Going well. Thank you. Yeah, I've missed that song. It's been a little while since I've heard it, so it's good to have it back in my eardrum.
So, not ideal. Obviously, some things are more important than footy. Lachie, and you're not playing at the Gabba tonight because of the impending Armageddon that we're facing here in Brisbane. So, you'll start your activity. Explain to me, is it round one next week and then you'll replay, or I should say, play this game that you were supposed to?
No, it's a postponement, isn't it?
Yeah, but round one's next week, and are we in round 0 right now? What's going on?
Yeah, they call it opening round. I'm not sure if it'll go ahead next year after they've had to cancel 2 games this year. Yeah. So there's only 2 games getting played this weekend, both of them in Sydney. The Queensland team's obviously not playing, but at the moment it sort of looks like we could play tonight. But yeah, it seems like the Cyclone's been postponed a little bit as well, and that'll come in a couple of days. But I think we'll play the Cats in maybe round 3. We both have a bye.
Right.
Then. So I think they'll just reschedule it for that weekend by the sounds of it, which is fine. I think the other game is a little bit trickier. They've got different buys, so I'm not sure when they'll play that one.
Will that be a Thursday, you reckon? You don't know?
No, I think it'll be a Friday or a Saturday by the sounds of it. So yeah, because there's already a Thursday game.
Right.
They can do like a double header on the Friday night maybe, or Saturday night we'll play. So they'll figure that out. But yeah, we'll start against the Swans next weekend. Hopefully, if Alfred gets through, it's.
I know he's farting around, isn't he?
I know, he's just sort of sitting off the coast and doesn't want to come over to Brizzy at the moment.
Typical male cyclone, just like dawdling.
Well, how would a female cyclone be?
Yeah.
What would the female cyclone be doing right now?
Oh, she would have got in, got it done, written a to-do list for the military.
She'd be off by now. Lachie, I don't know. We heard in our news yesterday that you were commented as saying that if the game had have gone ahead or they switched it to another venue or whatever, that you probably wouldn't have left, because this was when the storm was scheduled to hit, was Thursday night.
Yeah.
Over in League Town, the Dolphins, they did have their game switched from hosting it here in Brisbane, which obviously couldn't happen because of the the Cyclone, but they are playing in Sydney, and a couple of their players, in fact, I think there's three of them, is there?
Three of them, I think, at this stage, yeah.
That have said that, they're going to stay at home, and you said that's a decision you would have made as well.
Yeah, it was. It was sort of, I got sort of asked on the spot, so I hadn't had much time to think about it. But, that's absolutely what I would have done if we couldn't get Jules and the kids out of the house as well.
Good answer, Lachie. Good answer.
It's true. I wouldn't have left them here to defend the house and leave Jules with an 11-week-old baby and a 3-year-old toddler for the weekend and trying to look after the house as well. So we've got a dog as well. We'd be able to find someone to look after him. But, yeah, if they couldn't fly over with me, I wouldn't have gone and played. I think there's more important things in life than footy, and family's top of that list.
Yeah, it's interesting. To be honest, I'm surprised there's not more players, particularly given a lot of these young athletes have kids and things like that. They're saying 3 Dolphins players. I haven't even heard anything from the Broncos, whether any of their players, because when are they in action, Ash? They're playing...
They're tonight. The Broncos,
tonight.
They're tonight, yes.
So, I mean, I haven't...
They'll probably get home in time at the moment. They'll be... but, yeah, I think, everyone's different, and a lot of those players might have families here that can help out,
true.
Whereas Jules don't have anyone. So
hey, mate, you've got us. Hey, buddy, you've always got us, buddy.
Lachie will look after your dog, Lachie. There's no question about that, mate.
I thought you were going to say Jules then.
Oh no, I wouldn't have. It's all right. Lachie's looking after your wife and children.
All right.
Yes.
Oh dear, you both.
I know, Lachie. This is the...
You got to laugh, haven't you, Lachie? You got to laugh.
No, you're Cyclone prepared, mate. We've had the Premier on saying everyone's got to use today as preparation day. Like, what have what steps have you taken?
Yeah, well, I am not much of a preparer, but Jules is, so it's a good balance. We have obviously got all the furniture and stuff in the garage and the outdoor furniture, some of it inside, and so there's nothing outside now, and she's sort of taped up some windows and stuff, but I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. So, I've never been through anything like this, as a lot of people wouldn't have, so just sort of waiting to see what happens, but Jules is all over it, and I think we'll be okay, but you just never know.
Usually you put your Brownlows on the letterbox. You're probably going to get them off and bring them inside, buddy.
Yeah, they'll blow back to South Australia, mate, if I did that, I think.
I'll tell you what, if you'd flown away for an away game while there's a cyclone hitting, I'd dare say they'd be flying at your face.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but hopefully everyone in Queensland and New South Wales stays safe, and thinking about everyone, because it's going to be a crazy few days by the sounds of it.
And just quickly, so your first game will now be next week against
we play the Swans, so grand final rematch
Saturday, Arvo.
Let's go.
Yeah, so hopefully everything's cleared up and we're okay to go to that game next week. Don't know when we'll be back training or anything yet either. It's just sort of wait and see at the moment. So feels like a COVID revisited in a way.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? It's got that sort of feeling about, all right, mate, well, stay safe. Get those Brownlows in and locked in somewhere special. And call Lutzy if you need the dog to be looked after.
I got the premiership medal, that one.
There you go.
No, wear that. Just keep that around your neck.
The Brownlows are still at Lutzy's when he stole them from me that time.
The Ash, Lutzy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
This is quite a girly topic, but forewarned is forearmed, boys. Now, there is a website you might have heard called Out Them. Have you heard about this webpage?
I've not.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've really got to catch you up. So, there is a webpage called Out Them, which is women only, where they post a new guy that they're dating on there. So then if any other women might be dating them or with them, can out them. It's a way of women, when they're smelling a bit of a rat, to work out if they might be two-timing them. And it's a really effective page. A lot of women have worked out that they're being two-timed, triple-timed by certain guys. Now,
is it a community thing, Nikki? Like, is it around a specific area?
Yeah. Geographically, no.
That's what I meant, yeah.
fair to say I'm not on it, but a friend of mine went on it when she was suspicious about her fella. Turns out he's clean, which is nice. But now there's a new trend that's doing the rounds where women are covering themselves in full body glitter when they go on a date. So that way, if he is married, another woman, like the wife, can pick up, if there's glitter on his suit or his clothes, then he has been on a date. That's the new telltale sign. So it's not cologne or perfume or anything more. Like, it's not lipstick. It's full body glitter.
What,
so women are getting savvy.
So if a chick's going on a date and with wearing glitter,
like full body glitter.
Full body glitter.
But then the thought being that if they kiss or something, then he'll take it home to his wife.
There'll be a transfer.
She'll
transfer
see
of
the
glitter.
So what's the chick get out of it that's on a date other than looking like she's in a Kylie Minogue
like Christmas decoration?
It is a sisterhood thing.
See, you realize men is the complete opposite. If they if there was a website for men that went, hey, this is the new girl that I'm dating, all that would do was get 400 guys hitting on that chick. I'm not even kidding. It's the complete opposite.
That means he hasn't locked it down yet. I'm moving in.
Exactly.
I'm moving in.
Here's a new girl in town. Oh, is it there? Right, okay. Straight on the Insta, let's find her. Like, honestly, that's how the men's would work. So you're saying the women, the sisterhood is that powerful that you can trust them?
Gone into protective mode.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
so,
okay.
That's the new red flag for you, Lachie.
Well, if you turn up to a date, and your date is covered in glitter, which I still don't understand what that is, like full body glitter. But regardless of that, you'd be like, well, she's testing me, this girl.
Well, yeah.
She's going to
so I can't touch
past
her.
all the sisters, yes.
Yeah, well, you can if you're single. It's fine. Go for it. Roll all over that glitter.
Yeah.
Cover her in pepper and sneeze all over it. Do whatever you want
that's
to
true.
do.
That's true, yes.
But if you're a married man and you're sneaking a date with someone covered in full body glitter, back away.
She's going to get you.
And I'm sure it happens, but what man has the time and the persistence to leave a married family and sneak off on a date?
It's an outrageous concept.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Okay, well, Alfred's knocking on the door, and all week we've been speaking to Jeff from Storm Chasers, who's been absolutely fantastic in keeping us up to date, and he joins us this morning as well. Good morning, mate. Thanks for all of your coverage this morning. We'll continue it for the rest of the week, but what is the latest overnight as people are waking up? What's happened overnight?
Okay, well, people might start to get a little bit impatient with Alfred because he's slowed down a little bit. He's no longer expected to cross the coast tonight or overnight in the overnight hours, but more so tomorrow during the day, which I guess that's probably a better thing because at least you can see what's going on more so. So
yeah.
Well,
will that help, Jeff, with the predict?
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, you go, Ash.
What was that? Sorry?
Oh, no, is that going to be better given that the high tide is scheduled for midnight? So would a daytime crossing be more beneficial for us?
Well, I think as far as visually being able to see where the water is, but we've still got some pretty big problems on the high. We could still have some pretty big problems on the high tide tonight because it will start to deteriorate and the winds will get stronger and the water will push in a bit high, and then. Of course, there's a part two to this, and that is that Alfred is supposed to. Well, the data is suggesting, as from late yesterday and still again this morning, that Alfred's going to slow right down and wobble along the coast for a day. So that's far from ideal because then you get the impacts last a lot longer. Before he starts to hit land and weaken, we could be looking at a full 24 hours of him just sitting very close to the sort of the Gold Coast and Brisbane.
And what would the knock-on effects of that be? A lot more wet weather, a lot more wind, a lot more sustained rain?
Yeah, definitely. Still he's 300 k's east of the Gold Coast now, and he is moving west slowly. But this wobble has concerns in the data. Look, it may or may not, but at the moment we've had to push all of the crossing times back to tomorrow from 10 o'clock onwards. But then this wobble up the coast comes in close to the Gold Coast. Of course, that's going to be wild because he's close enough anyway. He's literally only 50 kilometres off the coast tomorrow morning. And then instead of crossing the Gold Coast, it comes up towards Moreton Island and then across Brisbane. So that's just longer. That's just 24 hours longer where he's tormenting everyone. So basically, lots more wind for longer and the rain. We're probably adding another 150 mils on in 24 hours because of this slow movement.
How does this stack up? I mean, it seems like I don't think people in Brisbane have intensely been following cyclones as much as obviously when it's up north, Jeff. But I mean, this seems like it's almost kind of a little bit unprecedented the way it's moving and the way it's hanging around.
Yeah, when they're smaller, they can have more erratic sort of movement. When cyclones are bigger, say Category 3 and 5, they get pushed around by stronger steering mechanisms, and they are actually a little bit more predictable because once they start heading in a direction, they tend to hold that and they might curve. The smaller fellas get pushed around and they get influenced by smaller weather features. And that's what we're seeing on Friday is we've got two separate systems to him that are competing with who pushes him around. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got one from the north, and one from the south. And he all of a sudden the data's saying he's going to get a bit stuck. Doesn't know which way to go. So
right now he's in like a pressure scrum, like a football scrum. He's getting pushed about, and we don't quite know which way the ball's going to go.
Absolutely.
But we've got a pretty good idea.
The coastal crossing is still very, very high, like over 95% for a coastal crossing. It's just the times have pushed out a bit, back out a bit, and obviously the longer he hangs around there anyway, the worse it is. I will say that the wind field, though, we are focusing on the crossing a fair bit, or it's common want to need to know about a cyclone with when it crosses, but the wind field and the rain with him extends further out. So a good 200 k's out from the middle. So as he comes in tonight, the weather will deteriorate tonight and certainly tomorrow, regardless of whether he actually comes straight across the coast, wobbles around. The full effects will be felt from tonight.
It's amazing you said that it's 300k off the Gold Coast at the moment. I'm at Narrowneck as we speak. It's blue skies. I look up and over Surfers Paradise at the moment, we're actually enjoying blue skies. When will the rain hit? When do you think the rain will hit? And then a second to that, for people that are in, flooding is obviously going to be a major risk. We spoke to the Premier last hour about that. Would it be helpful for people who are in those upper catchment areas to be detailing exactly what's going on upstream, so that would serve as a forewarning to the people who are downstream as to what's coming down the pipe?
Yes, the Bureau has gauges upstream, but sometimes not on the smaller creeks and sometimes not enough of them. Okay, they are there. They are a bit patchy in the upstream catchments, and they can be monitored to see how much water's coming down. But they are a bit patchy. So, people in upstream areas, in the Logan and the Albert rivers, and then, down into the Wilsons and Richmond rivers in northeast New South Wales for Lismore, even if they just put something on social media and in their local group and say, hey, guys, the creeks are really raging up here. There could be a fair bit of flooding downstream. And it just allows people to prepare a bit more until we start to get the proper warnings and the heights out. It's expected to reach 10 metres in major and all that sort of thing. But I do need to talk about the rain. It is still concerning. Let's forget about the wind and the swell for a minute. The rain is significant. I've just literally, before you guys called, had a look at it all on the forecast. And the general consensus is 250 mils to 500 mils from Brisbane to the Gold Coast to about Grafton, so down in Lismore, northeast New South Wales. And that's inland to Gatton and Lockyer Valley, Scenic Rim, Brisbane Valley, places like Toowoomba and Warwick, 100 mil, and the Sunshine Coast, 100 mil. But we do have a significant area of very heavy rain. Now, funny, I've been looking at when that really heavy, intense rain is likely. It is sort of not really even tomorrow, mainly maybe along the coast. It'll get pretty heavy, but Saturday could be the problem day for heavy rain. If people just want to keep that in mind, please.
Okay, so one other question I have for people on the Sunshine Coast or north of Brisbane. Say you're like, I don't want to be here for this. I'm going to drive north. Yeah. Where could you safely pull up, or you just don't? No, I'm talking about today.
Yeah,
like today, if you're like, I want out.
I'm confident. I'm very, very confident that if people stay home indoors, if it gets wild, obviously tonight everyone should be at home. Well, not everyone. People can still be out at night, but I would want to be at home from this afternoon, and I firmly believe that if you're in your home, it will be safe from the system. I don't think it's strong enough to cause huge damage to people's homes. If we're looking at a Cat 3, yes, a lot of data is now not suggesting it reaching a Category 3 and just staying at 2. And, obviously a Cat 4 and 5, we'd be out of here. I wouldn't around for a Cat 4 or 5, and I'm a storm chaser, and I'd be like, no, come on.
Yeah, if you see a storm chaser heading north, then you get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. No, it's fair dinkum, I would. Mainly because the kids, I wouldn't want the kids going through that great pain.
It's like, where's Jeff? He left for Thailand 2 days ago.
Yeah, but he's a storm chaser.
I reckon, and it's funny, I got Wee Chase on my number plate.
What?
I reckon if I start driving north of Brisbane, I'd have a convoy behind me.
Thanks, mate. Stay safe, and we'll keep in contact with you.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, cheers, guys.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
I'm smarter than... I'm smarter than who?
The Brighton Answer deal is here, with one lucky person winning $100,000 off the price of their new home every month. Drop into your nearest Brighton display home today.
All right, Daniel, where were you out of, Daniel? Was it Burpengary, did I hear?
Yeah, out of Burpengary this morning, mate.
What's going on there, mate? I'm broadcasting from Narrowneck on the Gold Coast this morning. It's beautiful blue skies. I see out at Wellington Point, it looks like it's blue skies. What about Burpengary?
Yeah. Well, I said the same thing when I was on hold. It's a few clouds and blue sky. It's a bit...
Mate, it's a beat up. It's a beat up.
I tell you what, looking out the window here in Brisbane right now at the city, I don't think I've seen a better day this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mind you, the surf...
Beats being at work, though.
Yeah.
Have you got the day off?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, the schools are off too. I've got Archie running around the house here at the moment, but the surf is going off its nut. And we had the Premier on in the 6 o'clock hour, and he said that there was it a 12-metre wave, Lutzi, that was recorded off Main Beach?
Crazy.
You'd be out surfing those, wouldn't you, Ash?
No, I'm going to head down south. I want to head down south later on and check it out. That's all my Instagram feed is. Well,
he won't touch the water. Don't pretend, mate.
Double overhead, mate. I'll be out there by lunchtime. All right, let's go, Daniel. We're only playing for $100. It's a rebuild Willie on a Min-Win Jones today, but you also go into the draw for the BYD Shark 6 in the colour of your choice.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fantastic.
And Lutzi will have the kickback cave
Damn straight,
in full
mate.
effect as well. So let's rip into it, my friend. Good luck, and here we go. Daniel, 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. How many days are there in September?
30.
Which video game features characters such as... What colour is a giraffe's tongue?
Pink.
Who is the current president of Ukraine?
Pass.
What is 12 times 3 minus 7?
29.
Which video game features characters such as creepers, witches,
Don't know.
and who is the current president of the Ukraine?
Oh, there was double pass.
I was supposed to say don't know instead of pass.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel, I come on every morning. and I tell gibberers like you, don't pass.
I said, given me the warning, I would have said the right words.
I didn't even get the question out. I was halfway through the question and you passed on it.
Well, that's what I meant. I meant to say don't know. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to save time.
I felt like going, what are you doing, mate? I felt like stopping everything there, right there, going, Daniel, have you lost the plot?
It's just different. It's different in the heat of battle, isn't it?
It is.
Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is.
You've posted a tally. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Just get me to the kickback cave, mate.
Cut to the
Welcome
chase.
to the house of Gimp. Ash is on his way.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the kickback cave. Lutzie's run away. Welcome to the house of Gimp. I hope Gary's okay. Welcome to the house of Gimp.
Yeah, Gary ain't okay. You know Gary.
A little bit of self-concern there from Gary. Thank you.
I hope he's prepared.
He's had bunkers
He's got a
ready.
basement.
Well, he's in a bunker to begin with, yeah, so he'll probably be the safest of the lot of
He's
us.
the safest. He'll be
Hang on, what have I just chimed in?
He'll be
Hang on,
luring
who's
his
in a basement?
He'll be luring
Who's
his
Gary got in the
neighbours in.
basement?
He's luring his neighbours in. Guys, it's safe in here, and then the neighbours would rather sit on the roof for a cyclone and go into his basement.
I'm not going in there, Gary, even if it gets the Cat 5.
No,
I'm
way.
staying out of that
Stay
basement.
out of Gary's basement.
What
you don't
have
wanna
I
know.
missed?
You don't want to know, Nikki. You do not want to know. Anyway.
All right, Nikki, let's go. Let's put some
okay.
money in the kitty. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. How many days are there in September?
30.
Which video game features characters such as creepers, witches, and ghasts?
Minecraft.
What colour is a giraffe's tongue?
Blue.
Who is the current president of Ukraine?
Zelensky.
What is 12 times 3 minus 7?
Oh, bloody hell. 28.
We went the distance, unfortunately. Went the distance.
Are we accepting that
was
last
hard.
answer?
I don't think we can.
No,
I don't think it's even right.
Yeah,
12
I don't
times
know.
3 minus 7. 36 minus 7.
No, it's not right.
No, it's not even right.
Well, we'll start with
went the
that one.
distance.
12 times 3 minus 7. You said 28, Nikki. It was 29. Daniel, you got that.
I did.
So you're leading 1-0.
These bastards are going to kill me.
Yeah.
Who is the current president of Ukraine? It is Zelensky. Nikki, you got that. You passed on that one, Daniel, so it's 1-1. Question number 3, what colour is a giraffe's tongue? Now, I heard pink, I heard
It's either black or blue.
black, blue, whatever. No, it's purple. It's a purple tongue.
Which Barbie will have me for that one?
It is 1-1 still. Which video game features characters such as creepers, witches, and ghasts? Daniel, you passed on that one. Nikki, you said Minecraft. Remarkably, that is correct. How does one know that?
I have 2 sons who were addicted to Minecraft for years. We had Minecraft lamps in the house.
And Ash, what
Have
if...
you not heard the Enderman rap?
No.
Sit up and listen. There's something magician. But anyway.
And Ash,
wow.
what if a giraffe had been sucking on a Smurf ice block?
Well, then it'd be blue, wouldn't it?
What does purple and blue make?
I was going to pause after Smurf, and I didn't. I didn't have the kahunas.
Clearly, the grip is strong in the
You
giraffe's
big
mouth.
wuss. Oh, come on. It is 2-1 to Nikki. And then how many days are there in September? 30 days. Half September. You both got that, but it's a 3-2 victory to Nikki.
Well done, Nikki.
Oh, thanks, Daniel. So you're not Gary. He's not in the basement.
No, he's safe.
Gary's a listener.
It's funny. Oh, right. My uncle's called Gary, and I don't know about... Garys are always interesting, aren't
Yeah,
they?
I don't know how weird your uncle is, but I wouldn't be drawing him into the same sort of territory as our Gary. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
really?
Yeah.
Have you found him down in your basement right now? Has he got the prizes?
No, he is not allowed in the cave. No way. A $250... Daniel, I've got to do a $250 Broncos Leagues Club voucher. Get down to the Broncos Leagues Club, full Jerome Red Hill, of course. You can
Awesome.
take a delicious meal. The boys will be putting in the workout on the training paddock, broncosclub.com.au. And I'll tell you what, I'll also throw in a $100 Commuter Cantina voucher. You'll love Commuter Cantina, mate.
Hey, thanks, Lachie.
Good on you, buddy.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Bring it back.
Throwback Throwdown.
Yeah, taking it back to the year 2000. Look, unfortunately, Ash, it didn't get any better for your girl Brittany. 15% didn't improve, unfortunately.
She normally polls so well.
Yep. Good throwback. Look, I had a percentage stolen off me. In third place, 21%. JT and the boys from NSYNC, bye. No go. Third place, 21%. 31% in second.
Oh! Tresina Trophy after 9.
That's it, which means that the winner for the year 2000.
I won!
Yeah.
Yes!
With 33% of the vote.
Well done.
Your boys Weedus and Teenage Dirtbag on Nova 106.9.
It's because I've got two of them.
Two what?
Two teenage dirtbags.
Her name is Noelle. The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
A lot of people say you don't know what you've got until it's gone. And that's the old saying that someone, I think it might have been in Mexico, took quite seriously when he was arranging the proposal to his girlfriend. Now, I was just scrolling on Instagram and I came across what I thought was an incredibly distressing, violent scene. Basically, there's a woman who runs in screaming because her boyfriend there's got a crashed motorbike next to him and they've put a sheet over him with just his head sticking out of the top. And this was the reaction. Basically, hang on, how do I tell this story to be better?
I'm trying to get my head around it. Hang on.
Yeah, okay.
Pardon the pun.
All right. Basically, he wanted to make sure that she knew she really loved him before he popped the question. So he's basically staged his own death. Yes. He's laying on the ground, covered in a sheet in the middle of a field with a smashed up motorbike, and people have gone, oh no, quick, have a look. And this was her reaction just before he popped the question. Hang on, do you have the audio, Mitch?
Well,
then
as you would expect.
He goes, surprise, and he pops the sheet. He's got a big bunch of flowers and a ring in a box. But she is so traumatized. She's like vomiting basically and shaking, and someone's holding her up, propping her up so he can finish the proposal because she can't even stand because she's discovered him dead. And that's his romantic way of popping the question.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
He is
he's
an
a moron. He's in the bunk with Gary.
I wish I knew who Gary was right now. No. But yeah, I reckon he belongs in the basement with Gary. Surprisingly, she did say yes. But it got me thinking
she's an idiot as well.
Look,
what happened here is two idiots have found themselves, and that's what's happened.
Look, every man gets the woman he deserves.
Idiots.
That's my old saying.
But who suggested that to that guy, or whether he came up with it himself, and then it's like, and then he had to drag other people into it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stage it. I want it to look as gory as possible, and then someone's gone, I'll help you with it.
I'll help you with that, yeah. Like as if,
the whole village was involved.
Mm. And he got what he wanted.
Village being the operative word.
Yeah. He got what he wanted too, Nick, because imagine if she had looked at him and gone, was it the motorbike damaged as well? Like if she had
they just kind of
thank God the bike's okay. He's dead, but the bike's okay.
I can finally crack onto his brother. Or whatever, She moves on She moves on immediately.
Is that what happened to you, Ash? Back with
exactly the same.
In?
Yeah.
But anyway,
I went for a skateboarding accident because I'm Gold Coast, but I tried to make it,
He twisted his ankle on a skateboard.
But 13, 24, 10, I want to know if there are worse proposals out there.
What?
Because
when have you staged your death?
Surely there can't be one that bad.
No.
But
Look,
there might be
you
dodgy
never
ones.
know, but I want to hear from our listeners if there's a proposal that just didn't go well. You know, gender reveals go wrong all the time, where the pink blows up in a face and all of that happens. I want to know if a proposal has gone very wrong.
Well, whenever you go public too, like you're taking a risk. I was watching the Vegas footy actually on the weekend, and half-time in one of the games, one of the Warriors supporters proposed to one of the other Warriors supporters, and I'm pretty sure they said that it was the auntie of James Fisher Harris.
What?
Who was being asked to, for a hand.
To, yeah.
Yes, and she said yes. But imagine if you put that on in the halftime in the Vegas.
Come on, who asked for a hand during a rugby league game, for starters?
I mean, you see it in Hollywood movies, but it does happen. People just don't read the verb, and they make a public gesture, and it fails.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
And we've been checking in with some of the experts throughout the morning, talking about Cyclone Alfred, and we went back to our top dog.
Yep, the Lord Mayor himself, Adrian Schrinner, joining us. Good morning, Lord Mayor.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, look, things have changed a bit overnight. You've no doubt heard the cyclone slowed down a bit, and that means there's a delay in when it's expected to make landfall here in Brisbane. But don't get into a false sense of security. It's still coming. It's still dangerous. All of the warnings that we've previously provided still apply. It's just a later arrival.
Yeah, I was saying to the boys that I feel like the longer it takes, the more complacent mentally you kind of are becoming.
Yeah.
Or I feel like it's becoming more about the swell and everyone surfing and memes than it is about going, oh, hang on, there is still a cyclone coming.
Particularly with blue skies.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a problem because this sort of thing happened up in Darwin with Cyclone Tracy, where there was predictions of when the cyclone would hit, and it didn't hit, and it sort of turned direction, it went away, and then it came back again, and everyone sort of got into a false sense of security, and then it did hit, and it was devastating. So we can't let that happen here. But I guess it provides a little bit of time to get ready and also to get some last-minute supplies as well. So the supermarkets are still open this morning, and there's an opportunity. Hopefully they've got something on the shelf this time, so they might be able to go out and get some more supplies this morning and use that opportunity.
Well, there's two parts to it. There's the when, which seems like it's been delayed, but there's also the where. And what's the latest as far as the tracking is concerned as to where it's going to landfall?
The BOM still has it as a direct hit on Brisbane, and so the line goes right across Brisbane. Yesterday it was on the south side of the river. To this morning it's slightly on the north side of the river. But, this thing changes. So, it seems to bounce back and forward, and it's one of those things that could well change again.
It's a Queensland cyclone when you can see on the map it's been doing donuts off the coast for the last 2 days.
Pretty crazy, hey? And the way it turned towards us was quite ominous as well. I know
the way they predicted that it was going to turn like that blows my mind because it just looked like they were playing silly buggers. Yeah, and they're like, no, it's going to do this loop and come back. It's amazing the technology they've got to tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've got great forecasting technology, but then this thing keeps changing, and it's quite clear Alfred is not a nice guy. He's messing with us now. He's sped up, he's slowed down, changed direction. This could keep happening, and so we just need to be aware. It's a changing situation.
Yeah, I know he said yesterday, but it keeps changing, Lord Mayor. But I mean, it just seems like the overwhelming message is, again, have your stuff, whatever situation you're in, whatever geographically where you are, whether you're in that sort of the swell range, or you're in Brisbane or near the rivers, whatever. Just get your stuff in order today/tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Use the extra time, and it's an opportunity to do a few extra things and get other things ready. And like I said, the shops are still open for now as well. The reality is it's actually a good thing that we do have extra time because there's a little bit more that can be done in the meantime. The other thing we're trying to do is we're trying to reactivate our sandbagging locations as quickly as possible. So they closed down 8 or 9 o'clock last night, and we're going to get them reopened again this morning. and they'll stay open as long as we can keep them open safely. But it's another opportunity for people to get some more sandbags as well. We've already distributed 400,000.
Sorry. So I was just going to say, on that topic, because I know that sandbagging stations, there has been significant waits in certain areas. Would you encourage volunteers to come down and lend a hand? Would that be the thing you'd want?
There was a lot of helpers yesterday and the day before. It was fantastic, because you're not everyone is capable of doing the sort of physical sandbagging themselves. So it was great to see a lot of helpers there willing to lend a hand. And my wife Nina was actually one of them. She was out most of the day yesterday doing sandbagging. It's gratefully received. But we'll keep people updated through our website and social media about when those sandbagging locations reopen, where they're going to be, and any help that people can provide, fantastic. That would be great.
And what is the main website that people should be looking at, referring to for all of this information?
Dashboard.
So for Brisbane residents, it's the Brisbane City Council website, and there's an emergency dashboard right at the front of the page there, and that gives you all the information you need. It also includes the latest flood modelling and mapping as well. So we feed in the BOM forecasts, and that gives us, projections on which areas could flood, and that helps people prepare as well.
Okay, so moral of the story today is this is not the boy who cried wolf. There is a cyclone coming. You've got an extra day to get everything prepared, so take advantage of this time.
100%. Yep, you're spot on.
All right, stay safe, Lord Matt. We'll check in with you tomorrow, maybe.
Same to you.
See you, mate.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
The Noosa Eat and Drink Festival. 4 days of flavour, fun and pure Noosa magic. May 29 to June 1. Book at noosaeatdrink.com.au.
Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne's Tastings on Hastings.
Talk us through this prize, because we've been saying it. It's one of the best prizes we've given away in a long time. We're talking about $5,000 worth of value here, packed in over a few days. Mitchell James,
4-night stay at the Noosa RACV in a 3-bedroom apartment. Daily breakfast as well. That's worth about $3,500. So and this is a big one for foodies. 2 tickets to the official opening party. That's on the Friday night. 2 tickets to Festival Village with Shandon Lounge sessions every day of the Saturday and Sunday weekend.
That's where you'd find me.
Yeah. We'll see you there on the weekend, but it all kicks off Thursday night. The head of Noosa dinner, you get 2 tickets to that one as well. God. And we're throwing in a petrol voucher just to get you up there, so you don't have to worry about anything for the entire weekend.
But we should point out that this is not this Thursday night. This is the end of May.
Yeah, May
We're not going to
29.
send you to Noosa this week.
No, we wouldn't do that.
It's the ultimate, absolute ultimate. So who we got on line there? Is that Benny? Is that Benny from Rothwell? I can see.
Certainly is.
Hey Ben, how are you?
Rothwell?
Yes, just in Rothwell.
I used to live in Rothwell.
It's something.
Ben, is Rothwell where the aliens are? Is that Rothwell?
Yes.
If you've got a lisp.
Yeah. I was trying to do one.
It's Roswell with a lisp.
Yes. So Benny, have you heard us play this before, mate?
Yes.
You've basically just got to pick the ingredient that doesn't fit in. Today we're going to the chicken roulade, if you don't mind, from Aromas. Ooh. One of the great spots there in Noosa. Now, Here we go, mate. Here's the chicken roulade. It's I've got the goat's cheese, the king oyster mushrooms, hash brown, and the sweet corn puree. So the goat's cheese, the king oyster mushrooms, hash brown, sweet corn puree. Which one doesn't quite fit into the chicken roulade?
I think I know this one.
I reckon I've got this one too.
I'm going to say the hash brown.
Well, you'd be right in suggesting.
It's got to be.
So you are in the draw for Friday's major prize, the Noosa Eat and Drink Festival. 4 days of flavour, fun, and pure magic. May 29 to June 1. You can book at noosaeatdrink.com.
That was the most obvious one yet. I mean, turmeric the other day was 50-50 on the, but what's it going to be tomorrow? A chicken nugget?
Yeah, well,
it's just
chicken nugget. It's like drive-through chicken roulade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll find out what that's going to be. Congratulations, Ben. You are in the draw, and we are drawing that tomorrow.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Mount Hawthorn or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.